apologize. We'll enjoy it up
Yeah,
here.
we'll take it.
All right, so Linda, I don't know what format to do this in. This is all new for us. Doing this, but anyway, I want to introduce Linda Leary, who, if you could raise your hand, because I don't know if everyone has the same screen that I do, with FISHe WEAR. And I know that Kathy, who just joined, is one of my longtime clients, and she has your products. So she knows.
Yay, thank you.
I think everyone else is very familiar with FISHe WEAR. So we talked about a little bit the other day, just some new fun and upcoming stuff you have going on.
Yeah, we so I think quite a few of you I'm familiar with. Of course, Nancy and I just talked the other day. I was checking on her to make sure she was doing okay too. And so I started FISHe WEAR probably 2015, after being in the trucking industry for almost 30 years, running a trucking company here in Alaska. And I was too young to retire, so I was like, I have to do something new. So I have this entrepreneurial bug, and so I have started FISHe WEAR just kind of out of a need of spending time fishing with Nancy and other gals out on the river, and realizing that there's a real lack of clothing out there for gals to wear. So and then we were lucky enough a couple years ago to have Jenny modeling with us with a bunch of gals from Bend, so we get to float the Deschutes and fish, and that was such a
it was such a fun day. It was.
So
Thank you.
fun.
I had such a good time. Thank you so much.
And great photos that we use a lot, so it was really super fun. And our goal is really to build a community of women around, and I think at that time Jenny and her group had started a women's group in Oregon. And then also
Central Oregon, Lady Anglers, Cola. Yeah,
that's awesome. And then there's United Women on the Fly, and there's just more and more groups out there that are really getting gals out there fishing. And I think one of the things that we found is that over half our customers are guys, and it's mostly buying clothing for the gals in their lives that they want to get out fishing, which is really cool. So we've tried to keep in mind new products to design. So if there's any input that you guys have on things that you'd like to see when you're out there, we love that. We have a couple of new things. Well, we just released a new print this week, our Dolly Varden print, which is super fun. And we don't have leggings in it yet, but we're just doing it little by little. Like, that's one thing that this the COVID outbreak has brought on, is a lot of creativity and ingenuity around doing things a little differently than we have in the past. So we're really working hard to try and put some fun stuff out there. We did a joint venture with, we did a giveaway with some other Alaska brands with Salmon Sisters. Reached out to them and had them do some giveaways with us. And it's been fun. We've been trying to kind of innovate and do a bunch of different things that make people happy and not think about what's going on. So we hope we've succeeded with that. So thanks for letting us talk today. It's great. And we have a new product we're going to roll out in a couple of weeks. That's going to be super fun, and it's a companion piece that goes with everything else that we have in our products. So you guys have to keep an eye out for that.
I like the secrecy.
Well, I'm really bad at secrets, and the girls will get mad at me. One of my employees is on here. She'll be like, "You tell everybody your secrets."
It's not a bad thing if it's a good secret.
It's a really fun secret. Oh, but just keep an eye out. It'll be super fun, and it's something that girls really like, and and that you're going to want to use in this downtime. So yeah.
Well, and I'm super excited to see the Extra Tough line that you have coming out, which I just bought new ones 2 years ago, and I don't need more, but now I think I do.
Could always use another pair, Sarah.
You can always use another pair.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a fun collaboration, and we were really honored to be the first black boot. That was really cool. Okay, I'll show you one thing. I've got one surprise I'll share with you that's supposed to have happened tomorrow, but it's not yet. But
I need my checkbook.
well,
Zoom stays at Zoom.
just imagine this is on a can of beer, and it's extra tough FISHe WEAR beer that's going to come out for Anchorage Brewing. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, so that's one
Very,
secret.
very cool.
Yeah, people need that right now.
Are they going to get a pull handle for the keg size of it for us?
Oh, that would be cool, Nancy.
Yeah.
That would be really cool. Yeah, and then we're gonna have a king salmon print this summer. So hopefully we'll be able to get out there fishing for them. So we'll have a new one later this summer too. That's a king salmon. So
Cool.
keep trying to come out with all these fun fish.
That was Anchorage Brewing?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, we were supposed to launch it tomorrow, but that's not happening. So soon it
Have you
will.
got it taste tested already?
No, but we did one with them last year, and it was amazing. And I didn't realize how talented those guys are and how they're kind of a big deal.
Mhm.
We we just kind of asked him if we could do a beer with him because he's a customer of ours, and he's like, "Oh, I'd love to." And then everybody's like, "How the heck did you get them to do that?" Oh, we just asked. So that was fun.
Exciting.
Yeah, they're great. So we'd like to do collaborations. So, the Orvis collaboration, Extra Tough, and we did one with the groove rings with the little silicone rings, and those are really fun. Those have been really fun to do. So, and if there's things that you guys see or that your female clients would like to have for fishing or just for lounge, lodge wear too, it's really helpful for us to understand that.
I have one for you that I think would be maybe kind of easy, and you could just go off of some of the stuff you've already done. But have you seen like rod wraps for like spay rods and stuff to hold them together when you're not using them?
Hold on, I've got
Seeing
one.
your rod sit back there is what reminded me. What you got?
I'm supposed to be teaching a class on casting this week, but hi, Nellie. Are you talking about the like a canvas one, Nancy?
No, I mean, I suppose you could do that as well. I'm talking about the easy ones. So like when we break down our spay rods that we use day after day, or if you're on a multi-day trip, we use wraps around them to keep them together, but yet apart, but held together. They're Velcro straps really is what they are.
Mhm.
And they're good at keeping them from damaging the rod, keeping the rod together in one place.
Oh, cool. Okay.
They're fun if they're bright and colorful.
Okay, cool.
Or maybe a sock with that too, huh?
Pardon?
A rod sock.
Yeah, we have some rod socks on our site. 3 styles right now. They're not for spay rods, but for shorter rods. Yeah.
What about rod tubes that you can strap onto your gear bag or backpack when you're hiking? Similar to what Nancy was saying.
Mm-hmm.
That would be cool.
Yeah,
Do you
we
have
have some. Oh, go ahead.
if you're going with the beer line, do you have any koozies out?
And can we
Not yet. Would you guys like koozies?
absolutely
Yeah.
Yes.
Michigan
the-
State is very koozie.
The
Anything
thick
coming
foam
from
one?
Michigan is very
Like a thick foam one or like a neoprene?
the neoprene, the easy slip on and off ones, those are very handy.
Yeah,
Okay.
that design that you had for Anchorage Brewing, I don't know if you have some kind of deal with them, but that is awesome.
Oh, thank you. Well, Extra Tough came up with this one. So, yeah, it's kind of cool. It's got the whole boot in it. And yeah, Nellie hasn't seen this one yet either. I know. Nellie's here in Anchorage with Tribe Unlimited. And then that reminds me, so Nellie, we did a movie this year that's in the Orbis Women's Film Festival, and we released it online this week. So I think maybe Sarah had shared it. I'm not sure, but or Tiana.
We've got it on our Mission Lodge website.
Oh,
I
cool.
finally got a chance to watch it today. I had chills the entire time.
Aww.
Aw, T. Hi, everybody. Hi, all you ladies. It's good to see many smiling,
Nice,
familiar
good to see
faces.
you.
Hi, Nellie.
Yeah.
So, Linda, I would have a question for you. What do you think, because being a woman in fishing for so long, there's always challenges. What has been the biggest challenge for you with launching product and that kind of stuff in this market?
I think probably just figuring out how it all works. You know, we've been pretty cautious about expanding too fast, and we were just starting to kind of do more wholesale in the lower 48 market this year. Then I hired some reps, and you know, then this all hit. But now they're ready to go. It would be super fun to have some female reps that could sell our products, because I do think that it's helpful to have people that understand and have, you know, like for you guys running lodges, you know, you need a changing room, it needs to be clean, you know, something like that, you know, so that people can try clothes on. It's not somebody's dirty old bathroom, and to be able to talk about the products and why you like it. And like for us, like we started with leggings and tubes and things, and we wanted base layer clothing. You could go right from the river to dinner. So when you go back to the lodge, you can take your waders off and you can go right to the dinner table and not have to go change if you don't want to. So I think just having people understand that and the concept around it. But like all businesses, it evolves over time, and sometimes the things that you have, you know, change, and you create things that other people want to try. And we're also trying to not just be specifically fly fishing only, but gear in general. So we brought on a gal this year that is a ambassador for us, who's a bass fisherman, because I was really curious to learn about bass fishing. And I think there's so many women out there that just we really want them to get out in the outdoors and enjoy fishing. And so whether they're using gear or a fly rod, we're good with that. So that's been fun. So it's not really as much a challenge as it's just kind of fun to figure it out, which I enjoy. And when we got a lot of help along the way. Clothing, you know, the kind of the digitized camo, they're originally from Fairbanks, Alaska, and I knew of them because they also were in the trucking industry, and they helped me in the beginning, just kind of telling me how to figure things out or tell me I was crazy to do it. So yeah, people are very helpful, really helpful, trying to help you succeed, which is great. And just really nice, and just having all the lodges supporting us too, and especially the ones like for you guys or with Nancy, others that are, you know, run by gals. I think that helps a lot. So we really appreciate the support a lot. Makes a big difference.
Well, and I think you've done a fantastic job in the women's world, because I've been in it for a long time, as I'm sure Nancy has and you have, but there's been so many people try to get into the women's world, and it hasn't succeeded. So to have this, to see you succeed in this and have a product that that everyone likes and enjoys, and it's fun and useful at the same time, right? And attractive. I mean, I think I tease Eric at Sims all the time. I'm like, nobody likes the color concrete. It's not.
Oh.
Where you guys think that we like concrete, but we do not color concrete. I don't, it's not.
I love that.
It doesn't match my bathing suits. It doesn't match anything. I don't like concrete.
That's funny. I went into this fly shop in Houston one time with a friend of mine, and we were asking the guy that ran the department. I said, well, where's your women's clothes? Because he really didn't have anything at the time. And he's like, women like things that fit and match. I'm like, oh yeah, that's kind of our concept. Amazing, it actually fits. Oh, it's so funny. But trying to have it be nice quality. And I have to say, even the, like, like with Orbis and those guys and others are very gracious with helping and willing to kind of help us, because I think we're smaller, so we can be a little more nimble and we can experiment with things if they really want to do, but they haven't tried yet, and or haven't thought of trying because they can't do small batch stuff and try it like we can. So we can kind of be the incubator to try little things. That's why it's fun to get suggestions from you guys and things that you'd like to see. That would be fun.
I
We have
personally like concrete, Sarah, I must tell you.
You do not like concrete. I know you.
But I also don't like pink and purple, which is the only other option for women half the time. I'm like, please don't make me wear the purple fish waders again.
I'm with you. Yeah.
No concrete.
So yeah, no, I think your designs are amazing. I love the colors and the style and the quality. I think that's all super important and makes everyone feel really good about buying the product. So I live in Seattle, and I will say the tights are a little bit out there for me. I'm a little bit more conservative, but anytime I wear them, like, people stop me when I'm running in them or at the gym. They're like, "Oh my God, and maybe that's why I'm like, I don't want the attention." But people love them. They really do. And so yeah, you're definitely doing some good stuff. And I'm very appreciative as a customer, even if I get a little bit shy.
We do try to get some more muted tones too, because I'm kind of conservative too, but I don't know why I like bright colors too, but it's definitely. And then is anybody interested in wading pants? Would you ever wear those?
The people from Michigan who don't get cold, is that what's just happening here?
Like, Linda, like a flat pant, or like something that you would
know this. I am the person in sweatpants and a blanket all the time.
Penny, I didn't hear your question.
Oh, I was wondering about wading pants. Like, instead of waders that go all the way up, would anybody wear a wading pant for fishing?
I definitely would. Especially when I know I'm like drifting a river that doesn't get very deep. It's a lot functional to use the bathroom.
Okay. You wouldn't. You're gonna want higher waders, right?
Yeah, I think just because a lot of, the Deschutes, we can't fish from the boat on the lower Deschutes. So we do a lot of bushwhacking, and a lot of like the higher lake stuff and the more remote stuff. I like having that extra coverage just to protect from sticker bushes and ticks and all that.
Good point. Yeah.
I think though, Linda, I think you'd find a good market for that. If you go down to the Southeast, we're talking Florida, Georgia, even Texas fisheries, a lot of people wear those wading tight pants in the fisheries that we worked with there, and even in Bahamas for bonefish and whatnot.
Oh, awesome. Okay, cool.
Hey, Nancy, what do you also think? And I know this probably isn't practical on a production level, but it would be really cool to have lined hip boots. Because I know there's a lot of times, like for king fishing or for different things, I don't want to put on waders, and extra tufts are just not enough.
Yeah.
A really hip boots where you could fold them over and have the fun, inside. And again, I'm sure like on production, that probably doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but it would be fun, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's a good idea.
Especially when it's nice out and you don't want to have waders on. But extra just aren't enough, because it's just that you got to get out of the boat and you're just going to go over in your extra tufts, but you don't really want to have waders on. So
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, cool.
Linda, back to the wading pants. This might be a niche market, a small niche market, but I would have loved to have wading pants when I was pregnant and fishing and carrying a pack and fishing, because like you don't want a whole bunch of extra stuff here so you might have a tiny small marketing possibility there.
Cool. Thank you. Well, if you just have to position it right under.
That's right.
Oh, I see my friend Sophie's on with us today too.
yeah, I saw that, but I haven't seen her.
Uh,
I don't know, like on your small production stuff, I'm sure like it would be more expensive, and Nancy, again, I would love for you to weigh in on this kind of stuff, but I would be happy to pay more to have something more functional and also cute, for like hip waders and that kind of stuff. So I don't know what your production limits are and that kind of stuff on that.
Yeah, no, I think there's, I know that when I was doing a lot more fishing in other areas of Alaska, when I started guiding out of Homer and Kenai area, we used a lot more hip waders than we did for all the reasons you ladies have already mentioned.
Yeah.
We did chest waders. And I do think that's a market worth exploring. And again, I know that there could be limitations there because you have too big a run that you're going to have to order, but I think it's probably worth exploring. I think it would sound like fun, and it sounds like the perfect gift for every Alaskan man to be getting his wife or girlfriend for Christmas.
Yeah, right.
That's right.
Well, if you could come out with some men's designs inside, right? That would be huge because a lot of guys, especially in Southeast Alaska and so forth, use hip waders or hip boots instead of.
Yeah, I don't know a bush pilot that doesn't use them.
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And a free pair to every female bush pilot.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
If you can make a pair that my boyfriend Ryan can't wear out, you're guaranteed to sell out of them.
Oh yeah, a pair that can last more than a season. Another thought I had, Linda, is I know a lot of companies are making zip front waders for men.
Yeah.
I think that would be very good for women as well. They're not making it for women. I think that would make my point from earlier, going to use the bathroom, a lot easier, because trying to get out of those waders when you really gotta go isn't fun.
Yeah, because I think Patagonia has one now where the straps will pull down, so you can just pull them. Have you guys tried that?
The side zip one too that they came out with last fall.
Yeah, yeah, they do, and they do a nice job with waders. And Orbis has come out with some that are sized for various sizes, and they're lighter weight too, which I think has been popular. I haven't tried them yet, but yeah. And those things are good expensive to try, but it's fun to try them and see. So, and then Sarah and I were talking about neck tubes. Hi, Libby.
Hi. I had good timing. I was like, oh, it's 7:30. So I was like, come on.
Libby works for us, and well, she's been working for us. She's coming back this summer, but she's stuck in New Hampshire.
Yes, it's snowing.
Really?
Yes. So, yeah, but hopefully I'll get back to Alaska soon. Let's try and be patient.
The quarantine's over.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. What other questions do you guys have? How are your businesses going and stuff right now? Because I'm working on a presentation for the Anchorage Chamber on surviving and thriving over the next 90 days. So my talk to them is going to be about, managing expenses, how do you grow your revenue, marketing, collaborations, and giving back to the community like you guys are doing. I mean, that's really nice, the way that you're being inclusive and doing this. This is really awesome. But curious if you guys have any other thoughts for things that you've seen that have worked that would be good for small businesses.
think home delivery is huge right now, right? For anything, making it so. I bought a Peloton, and which was like, that was the easy part. I decided I was going to go out on my own for the shoes, and that was the disaster, right? The Peloton came, had no shoes. Mine came in, they worked. My boyfriend's weren't the size for him, and so and then trying to find that. So, but there was a great bike shop in Bend, and we pulled up to the back door, and they came out to the car. They gave him the shoes. He tried it on. Then we, did the whole transaction. So I think that kind of stuff is so important right now. And I want to rent a paddleboard this weekend, and I found a couple of places that do, appointments only and stuff. People still need those outlets, right? They still need physical outlets. They need whatever it is. And I don't know, I'm not a big shopper anyway, but, I would imagine for women or men that can't get out and shop and that kind of stuff, like having, and people already do this trunk stuff and deliveries and that kind of stuff, but just being more, really thinking outside of the box on how you can deliver to people so that they can still get that experience.
Yeah.
So they don't feel like, you just feel like you can't go anywhere. There's nothing available, right? So.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. People are trying to get really bored.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of people don't even know what's available, right? Like you just assume everything's closed. And so it's hard, I think, for consumers to know what's open and what's not.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, the pickup thing's been a big thing here as well, Sarah. The other thing that a lot of my friends are doing that don't have work at home workers is shift work. So, there's this, how do you keep your workforce safe and virus free so that they can keep working? And, a lot of people that don't work at home work in pretty tight quarters. So thinking about shift work, or before the mask thing was a big deal, I'm like, just have everybody wear gloves. You really don't want to touch your face when you have gloves on.
That's right.
So, a lot of companies are making masks right now, but nobody's making cute gloves.
Ah, there you go.
So, I don't know how fast that turn is on making some really cute disposable neoprene gloves, but that might be a market. I hadn't thought about that until now, but yeah. Yeah. So.
Yeah, we've been selling, I was telling Sarah the other day, we've been selling a lot of masks.
Yeah.
And
this is my Safeway attire. When I go to the
we're all gangsters now. It's just
Yep.
It's much harder to breathe in a grocery store in these than it is when you're out fishing, I have to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it sounded like I was talking to our neck tube manufacturer who's in the fishing industry also, and he said that he was hearing that there'll be regulations this year for fishing in some communities where the guides wear masks and the guests will have to wear masks as well while fishing. So it'll be interesting to see if that happens. I don't know if you guys have heard on that.
Well, so I'm on that committee, and as of right now, we're tasked with figuring out how to make your business work. We're providing templates for all businesses out there to work off of, because all businesses in Alaska have to have an approved plan for proceeding forward to open again as the opening happens. And so we're creating these templates for what things look like right now. And of course, the masks are far from the worst of it. Right now, the 14-day quarantine mandate is the worst of it. So go anywhere, to me, I think that's awesome. I'll go somewhere for 14 days and fish. I don't have a problem with that. Most people's lives don't allow them that. So that being said, that's the first stopper right there. And then you're absolutely correct. That the 6-foot rule, as long as that mandate's in place, you're going to have masks. You're going to have gloves. In a lodge situation, you're not going to be able to spend time with those people that you probably enjoy spending time with, like your guides or even, your servers and housekeepers and hosts and hostesses in the evening. So it's pretty tough, but we're trying to develop these templates for all businesses. They have no authorship to them. We're just trying to do it in a statewide venue for all sport fishing operators in all different venues. And hopefully these templates are going to be out sometime next week for people to pick up, and you can use them to put together a plan for your business and actually decide at that point if you want your business to move forward, because that's the big question I'm asking myself now, because I think to myself, what do people want to do or have expectations of while they're at my place?
Right.
And do these templates even allow me to provide that? And in many cases, I don't think they do. So it's not real good news at this point, but as these mandates are backed down from and things loosen up somewhat, I still think it's a possibility. But you are absolutely right, Linda. You're going to have to wear masks and gloves, and your dining experience is going to be at a table 6 feet away from anybody who doesn't already quarantine with you.
Wow. That makes it a real challenge, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Nancy, I would love to sidebar with you maybe next week and talk about some stuff.
Oh, absolutely. We're working hard on these. I've been on this group. The cool thing about it is we have the state's part of this group. So we've got Department of Health, we've got Fish and Game, we've got all the departments as part of the working group to put these templates together. I was tasked with putting the one together for remote lodges, obviously, because that's my specialty. But there'll be one coming out for us as lodges, then charter boat operators, walk and wade people, dip net people. We're trying to cover all the sport fishing elements, but definitely get a hold of me, Sarah, and I will give you what I have. And I'm attempting to keep everybody who's interested and up to date as possible, because as I put these together, it became imminently obvious that I really have to consider, if I want to move forward, if I want my business model to look like that in moving forward, just to keep my business alive. So again, I'm hopeful that some of these mandates lift, so that, first of all, the 14-dayer is going to be a non-starter for most of us.
Right.
After that, once that's lifted, how many of those other things that actually become business barriers are we going to have to figure out ways to work with and basically convince visitors that they're an okay thing to do?
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry to be the bearer of bad news. I don't like to be here.
Well, we're just hopeful that it changes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just sooner rather than later.
But it won't.
I thought it was bad enough being here with Ryan going out of his mind because they banned motorized boats, so no more fishing, which was his only outlet.
Oh no.
And it's turkey hunting tomorrow.
Hey, Trishy, imagine how Jeff handled that.
I can imagine.
Every day.
I feel your pain.
Well, if anybody wants to come out here for 14 days and fish, come on out. I got 3 boats ready to go. If you and I are getting along, we each take our own boat right now.
That's awesome.
Contemplated it.
Yes, Nancy, Jeff would be on the next plane out.
Yeah, so Nancy, so you can fly into King Salmon now, because Dillingham you can't come into.
You can, but you have to go into immediate quarantine. So both villages, you can actually fly into Dillingham too, but they're meeting your flight. They're finding out why you're there. If they don't feel it's relevant, they're sending you home, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So the villages are far from open yet. And I'm a part of the big discussion for the comm fisheries too, because obviously the villages are lots of things, lots of balls in the air right now. The comm fish guys, though, we are going to have to send them a great big thank you, because they stepped into this whole arena about 10 days before we did. And they've made my life a lot easier on this task force that I'm on because of the work that they've already done. The communities, however, it's more the tribal entities. They are not feeling comfortable at all with opening things up, understandably so. They're putting their elders at risk, and they're not willing to do that. It's going to be interesting, and Comfish is doing a very good job of trying to keep the community safe that they go into. If they do that, that is going to give us an inroad into being able to open our sport fisheries out here in the bush. And if they don't, and they can't find ways around it that make the communities feel safe and make sure they are safe, then we are probably going to suffer the same fate.
Yeah. That's my thought too. Yeah.
Well, we'll be thinking about you guys.
Yeah.
Because we have a lot of women that are waiting to take beginning fly fishing classes. They come out and fish with all of you. Because we teach that here in Anchorage. But yeah, it's hard to do that right now. So we're trying to do an online model right now and give them an outlet.
Well, if I don't end up with the season out here, maybe I'll fly in there and teach a few classes for you, Linda.
Please, that would be great. You don't have to quarantine when you come in.
Something to look forward to, right?
Yeah, absolutely. You got to. Absolutely. What else can I tell you guys about FISHe WEAR?
I had one other comment about small businesses, and you might have already heard this from other people, but about if people have regular, services that they use, whether it's manicure, like women, manicure, pedicure, or hairdressers, or, I don't know, clothing shoppers, or whatever services people are normally at, waxing clinics, to just pay to pay it forward, maybe even pay people ahead for some sessions just to help them get through right now. Or I even have heard people just saying, look, I would have normally had an appointment with you by now, so I'm just going to give you what I would have given you had I come in, just to try to keep those people afloat.
Yeah, that's a great idea. I've done that with a friend of mine has a store here in Eagle River where we live, and she quickly got it up on Shopify so she could sell to people, but we all bought gift certificates and trying to do what we can, because you can't do home deliveries here for retail stores either, so you have to mail everything, and so it's a little bit challenging. But yeah, that's a great idea. Great idea. Yeah. Hopefully we get to kick our season off soon so we can go fishing. Are you guys fishing in Oregon already?
I think
Oh yeah. Yeah, I've been out. We have the upper Deschutes will open at the end of May, so excited about that. They've got all the boat ramps closed though, so no lower Deschutes trips, or all the guides are freaking out because we're coming up on salmon fly season, and but finding water where I can and trying to stay as far away from other people as possible. They've just gotten really crowded, and then finally last Friday they stopped selling out-of-state licenses. And I think if you are a non-Oregon resident, even if you hold a license here, you are not allowed to be fishing. So that went into effect last Friday at midnight. So it's kept a lot of the folks from Washington coming down because they've got fishing. They're the only state in the country that's got fishing completely closed. So Heather Hodson, she's been running a bunch. She's been mountain biking. She's it's a whole new world for her to try to figure out what she wants to to spend her finite spare time on. But yeah, it hasn't been bad here. I mean, our steelhead season wasn't great on the coast, but I think we're gonna have a good trout season. So
cool, good.
Try to make the best of it where we can. Yeah, 6 feet away. Wave from across the river to your friend and show up in separate cars. But we're figuring out ways to still make it social, but appropriately distanced at the same time, which is just so weird. I'm so ready to never have to say social distancing again. I hate that word. Right. I'm over it. I want to hug everybody. I think I did hug Sarah though on Easter. I think there was some hugging going on, so I broke the rules. But she's basically family anyway, so it doesn't matter.
I know, it's hard. It's hard not to. Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we released our movie this week that we had with Orvis, and the theme of the movie is No Excuses, which we did it, and Nellie was in it with us along with another ambassador of ours, because we really wanted to showcase how you can go out and fish no matter what. Of course, with the COVID, you have some restrictions, but really just trying to encourage people, no matter if you're in a wheelchair like one of our participants in the movie, or with little kids like Nellie has, that you can go out and fish and enjoy it. And no excuse not to get out there.
Linda, was that film a part of the Orvis 50/50?
Yes.
Okay, I saw Aaron and Paul, which was just so cool. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's they're pretty amazing people. But I did see it earlier this year, and it was great.
Good. Yeah. They're supposed to be getting married next month, but I don't know what's happening. But yeah.
Cross our fingers for them.
Yeah. Lots of fun stories of people out there that are learning to fish, or just, that's our big thing, is trying to just encourage people to get out there and try it. And people that wear our clothes don't have to fish either. They just wear them and enjoy them. So, and we're glad we can bring joy and fun.
You do it well.
Thanks.
Yes, definitely.
Linda, thank you so much for making time tonight, and thank you, ladies.
You guys.
For joining us and just spending some time together. And again, it's just really unique to share this time that we normally don't have, to all get together and meet everyone. And so I just really appreciate it. And Nancy, I'll connect with you next week, and Linda will keep connecting. And
Thank you.
Stay safe, stay healthy, and let's get through this and get back on the water.
Thanks, you guys.
Yeah.
Thank you. This is
Thank
fun.
you.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye.
Us together, Sarah and T.
Bye.
Love to see your beautiful faces. Sorry, I had some unplanned interruptions, so I had to.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you, ladies.